A very good day, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is your host, Riddhi Kumtekar, for today. Today's episode of Smart Talks by Lincoln University of Business Management. Today, we'll be talking about one of my favorite topics, the art of unconditional self-love and nurturing your worth beyond achievements. I am very excited and thrilled to announce our amazing, honored guest today. So before I introduce her, I want to talk to you guys more about who she is and what she does. So let's embark on this transformative path to rediscover the beauty and strength that lies within and beyond the realm of achievements. Our valuable guest with us today is an expert speaker and trainer who comes from the world of words. She worked with groups, individuals, and an organization to help them reset for success using her patent SMILE, often referred to as SMILE. She is coined for her TED Talks in 2016. She inspires her listeners to empower the relationship with themselves and others so that they can become better versions of themselves. Please welcome Ms. Ruqya Khan, also known as RK. How are you doing today, ma'am?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Super excited to have this conversation with
And I'm
you.
very excited to know more about self-love. So, start talking about self-love. According to you, what is the one thing when a person discovers an unconditional self-love?
What is the one thing that a person discovers?
Yeah, when they're embarking into the journey of self-love.
I think to embark on that journey of self-love, you first have to go through a lot of self-loath, where you're constantly beating yourself down. You're constantly in that place of anger, upset, and not good enough kind of a space. And when you hit rock bottom is when you realize how much you need to take care of yourself first.
Yeah. True. Very well said. So you said that you had gone through a certain phase of your life and that's how you came up with your patent SMILE. So I want to know more about what SMILE is all about.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, before I forget, is that the badge on your dress? Is that what refers to SMILE?
Yes, it
Okay,
does.
so I got it right.
Yes, you definitely did. Very observant. See, the smile was actually created when I did my TEDx talk in 2016, right? I am a graduate of science, a mother of two, and I started off my journey in the world of words on one amazing afternoon, standing before a sink full of achievement. I'm going to detour from your question because
That's
the
completely
backstory
okay.
is
We
a
have all
little
the time.
interesting. Yeah. So there I was, standing in front of the sink full of achievement, and I was thinking to myself, there must be more to life than diapers and dishes. And when you ask this interesting question, the world gives you, the universe ends up giving you the right answer. And the awareness of being a writer for the local newspaper came upon me. I joined a local writing group, started contributing to the tabloid, Gulf News. And as I went on with this journey as a freelance writer, I began to know a little bit about the personal development world because I was interviewing high achievers. I was learning about their journey. And I said, I want some of that for myself. And that's where NLP came upon me. I am a master practitioner of NLP. And as I became all of this person, I realized my journey is so fascinating. And how can I share it with the world? Because I was surrounded by people who were constantly complaining, complaining about the weather, complaining about the in-laws, complaining about the children, everything under the sun. And so I thought, what's one thing I can do so that I'm sharing out this message? So the SMILE strategy was created for the TEDx. And to answer your question, yes, this badge comes from actually the Prime Minister's office. I was invited to present at the Happiness Carnival that they had ran in 2018.
Wow.
And thank you. And this was the time when I shared the SMILE in public and I realized I love this. Said something so simple, which is just 5 steps. And it just creates this magical shift in the way people think about themselves, about others, about their situation. And so that's where the whole journey as a SMILE strategist began to happen.
Wow, amazing. I mean, I love how you've just spoken from what self-love is and to your own patent SMILE. So how many years or months in the making did it take for you to form SMILE?
I'm sorry to disappoint you. It didn't.
Okay.
It didn't because...
Like it was instant for you.
It was. I'm not one of those people who sits and prepares for anything in life, for a matter of fact. Because even when I started writing for Gulf News, I'm not from the media industry. I'm not a student of media journalism. No, that's not me. I just love language. And so for me, it was, what can I do with the resources I have, the skill set I have, the responsibilities and role I have as a mother? How can I do something with what I have and yet not neglect what I have as well, you know? So that's where it started out.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's about it.
Amazing. As you mentioned, you had worked for Gulf News. I had worked for Khaleej Times.
Ooh, nice.
And I had a great time because I was a student, I was interning there. And as you mentioned about languages, even I'm a person who loves learning about different cultures and languages. I recently had a 10-day trip to Europe and I visited around 4 countries in span of 10 days, all road trip with my family. So like we went to every different new country. We visited Prague, Budapest, Austria, and everything. And like each country has their own language, and each country has their own, the way they embark their cultural diversification and everything. As you mentioned, your love for language, I also have a love for languages. I love language. I think that was my top scoring subject back in the days. So moving on to my next question. In your experience as a life coach and founder of Smile Strategist, how crucial is it concept of unconditional self-love in fostering personal growth and influence?
Great question. So, self-love is important because self-love gives you self-confidence, right? So, to answer your previous question, which I kind of left halfway, how much time did it take for me to come up with the smile? I was very sure when I had this opportunity to present on TEDx that I needed to have a formula. You know what the tagline of TEDx is: share an idea worth sharing, right? So what would be my idea that I would share with the world? The idea was stop complaining. In my head, that was the bigger picture. Stop complaining, take ownership, right? So on that talk, I talk about how you move from feeling stuck to unstuck using gratitude and acceptance. And I say acceptance comes when you smile, right? Gratitude we're taught when we're little.
Yeah.
And acceptance, now that's the rough one. Now, how can you come to acceptance? I sat down and wrote down words. And I literally sat in silence with myself. And I wrote down words. I wrote grow, I wrote respect, I wrote smile. And smile jumped at me. And then I elaborated on it. To be very, very honest and transparent with you, when I presented my TEDx, I didn't know the full form of the smile. I actually had to refer my notes and the presentation slides. But that's the beauty of it. The more I started speaking and sharing about it, doing workshops, doing sessions in schools, universities, the more I began to understand how flawless it is. Because when the audience asks you those questions, that's when you begin to understand the wisdom in it, because it isn't mine. It's literally something that I received as a download and proceeded to do something with it as a gift.
Amazing.
And to go back to your question right now about confidence and how important it is super important to take care of yourself, to love yourself. Yes, I did go through a rough patch.
My next question is about that. When did you hit the rock bottom? If yes, how?
Yeah. So 16 was the TEDx, was ready to fly, thinking that this is what I'm going to do in life. My children are leaving the nest, and I thought, okay, now is my time to focus on me. However, what happens is we make plans and God decides for us. So what happened is they left, and as they began to leave, the reality of those emotions hit me. You know, my role as a mom is very important to me. So when your children are leaving, someone inside of you says, now focus on yourself. And then there's that mother who says, who are you kidding? Who are you going to be? You know? So as they left, I felt myself crumbling a little bit. And then the next blow I received was losing my dad.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yes. So when I lost Papa, it just felt like one blow after another, and then you're almost knocked out. However, there's this expectation that everybody has of you. I'm the only child, so there's the expectation that you have to be strong. There's that expectation that you are going to take care of your mom and everything else for the family, for everybody. So I continued to be strong for others, and in the process began to crumble further. And that for me was rock bottom. And it took me some time to come out and focused on self-love, focused on myself. I had a very close uncle of mine who visited home for condolences, and he gave me this really awesome piece of advice. He said, Beta, there are 4 things on which your life stands, 4 pillars: love, respect, trust, and hope. Right? And he said, these are the 4 things we're always expecting from others. And we're always upset and agitated because the other person won't give you love, won't give you respect, won't give you hope, won't give you trust.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you're the one who has to give it to yourself first.
Then others can.
Yeah, because they need to know how you understand love. How someone respects me, I should translate that to them so that they know how to respect me. So in some cultures, when an elder walks in, you stand up.
Yeah.
That's a sign of respect. In some cultures, they don't.
Yeah.
But if that person walks into a room and nobody stands up, they might feel disrespected. However, if they're in the room and an elder or a senior walks in and they stand up, then the people in the room will feel and understand and say, oh, that's their language of respect. And so they stand up. It's like, leading by example.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, you had hit the rock bottom. What were some of the methods that you had done to discover your real self and like take it as a positive aspect of your life that yes, already you've lost so many things one by one, everything is hitting. You might have got like an hit that, oh, why God is doing this to me? And how did you overcome it? Like, I want to know that. What are the methods and strategies you had done to overcome it?
Okay, so I, in April 2018, flew to Australia to be with my children.
Okay.
My children are like this, are the rock stars of my story.
Oh, it's so cute.
Thank you. So I flew out. I hadn't met my daughter in a while, and my son was visiting her in Perth at the time. So I was there with both of them, and on a bus ride, my son asked me, "Ma, what have you been up to?" He looked straight in my eyes and he goes, "What have you been up to?" So being the person that I am, and in that mental state, I tried pushing him away, saying, "I'm your mother. You can't speak to me like that." And he goes, "Yeah, but what about accountability?" When your 18-year-old is unafraid to ask you that question about accountability, that's when you really take a step back and think, what are you doing with the time and resources you have? And when I came back to UAE and I saw myself going down that spiral, struggling to get out of bed, all of that, I said, what's one thing I can do? Just one thing, because I believe in action. What's that one thing I can do so that I can support myself, get out, and literally face the world again? And so on 1st of May 2018, I started doing a live on my Facebook page. I called it #ConnectingTheThoughts.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't think it through. It was just very organic.
Just wanted to talk to
Just
someone
wanted
maybe.
to. Perhaps, yeah. And day 1 happened, day 2 happened, day 3.
How long was the live?
And it just went on for 1,551 days every single day.
Wow.
And it spanned across 10 countries, different time zones.
Wow.
Yes.
What an achievement.
Loved it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Alhamdulillah.
So like that was like something. So you said that doing live videos, live shows with people, and they might have been people who must have asked you a lot of questions.
Oh,
in the
yes.
live, right?
Oh, yes.
Was there something which you really like remembered, an individual asking you a particular question which you could resonate with?
It wasn't a question. However, there is one person that I cannot not talk about when I talk about my daily lives is Cindy Martin. She was a retired teacher, a cancer survivor of 2 time cancer survivor, yes. And she had made my lives a daily routine. She would start her day. She was in Ohio, and she would start her day with my live session.
Okay.
So literally, I would go hello, hello for my live. Sorry about that. I would go hello, hello for my live, and then hi, Cindy. So that was like a regular for a number of throughout, quite literally. And on day 1,000, I opened the platform for listeners to come and speak with me on the show. And Cindy at the time was in ER. She had a stomach ache that just wouldn't go away, and she joined me from the emergency room.
Wow. Shout out to Miss Sydney for sure. Definitely.
Unfortunately, I lost her.
Okay.
However, the kind of love and support I got from her, she's definitely my warrior angel.
She's looking from above.
Oh, yes,
For
she is.
sure. For sure. Shout out to her. Really nice. So nice to see that, we take inspiration from people. And we meet across people every day with so many challenges, so many things. And once you sit down and you open up, as a life coach, as you mentioned,
Yep.
what was the one aspect that you came across in your life? It was like I think something which really inspired you from people's story. Like, is there like a particular individual that you felt so inspired from and who shared like the similar story like you? Is there any particular individual you would like to?
We're definitely influenced by a lot of people. So I'd like to think that we all are gems, and each experience shapes us.
Yeah.
Right. So each experience, each interaction shapes us. You're shaping me right now, just as I am, and just as the listeners are with our amazing conversation. What apart from a person, would it be okay if I shared about the smile and told you
Definitely.
what the smile has taught me?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
So when I look at the smile, and like I said, I've presented it in 10 different countries, the beauty of it is it's universal and it can fit anywhere. It can fit in a corporate space to help your employees move with productivity. It can help in relationships, enhancing, building, and empowering them. It can help with communication skills. And whenever I present, and to whatever audience I have presented it, everybody has the same feedback on life, the same experiences. We all around the world are different,
Yeah.
yet all the same, right?
We're all same yet different.
Yet, yeah, and that's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
Right? And the beauty is that when I talk to them about okay, I'm just going to quickly tell you what the smile is. So it's S is silence the mind, M is manage your attention, identify the intention, let things go, and energize the possibilities.
Wow. Amazing.
So L, which is let things go, that's where everybody gets stuck.
True.
So regardless of whether I'm presenting in Australia or I'm presenting in India or in Oman or wherever in the world, UK, everybody gets stuck on L because everybody has that little devil inside, which is the ego. So everybody gets stuck on that. So that I found very interesting to observe in people. The hopes are the same, the joys are the same, the fears are the same. We're all
Even me, for something, if something is, as I mentioned, 2021 was a very tough year for me. I've gone through a lot of challenges in my life, both physically and mentally. And then there was this one individual who came up to me and helped me overcome. I mean, more than an individual, it was my mom. Shout out to my mom. She was there for me. She was there for me at my rock bottom. Even my dad. So I think there has been like some aspects of our life where we meet certain individuals. As you say, we don't meet anyone by accident.
No.
I've definitely not met you by accident. You are here maybe to share a complete different story which I resonate with and which our viewers and listeners resonate with. So I think every individual teaches us something or the other in life. So my next question is about an individual. So what are some common challenges individuals face while trying to detach their worth from their accomplishments, and how can these challenges be addressed or overcome?
okay. The common challenges we face are our upbringing. A lot of times as parents with good intention, teachers with great intention, we tend to push our children, the young ones, to do better. And we fail to kind of reiterate that you're already good. We tell them to do better. Can't you do better than this? So 97 out of 100, where did the 3 marks go?
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate the 97 first, and then work towards building that extra. Let them know they're good as they are. We have all, again, with good intention, I'd like to believe that every person comes to you with good intention, even if at that moment it may not look like it. But they have in some shape or form impacted you, right? Yeah. So the labels we wear is what influences the decisions we take. So to answer your question, how does a person rise above it? How do they deal with it? Is to understand that you are not the label you are wearing. If somebody says you are always late, you're not always late. You're not that person who's always going to be late. You can make that shift. And it starts with one simple action.
Exactly. Actions speak louder than words.
Yep.
So moving on to my next question. As you have experience being a life coach, and how does embracing unconditional self-love contribute to an individual's personal and professional growth?
So when you embrace unconditional self-love, and unconditional is the word there that really jumps at me, is what happens is you become your most favorite person.
The dialogue is there, no? In Jab We
Jab
Met.
We Met.
मैं अपनी favorite हूँ. I go with that all the time.
You have to. You have to be your favorite.
Yeah.
So when you become your own favorite person, what happens is everything around you begins to look brighter, more colorful, more hopeful, and there's so much else that's possible.
Like a positive energy is there.
Yeah. You
Which
become
like-
this magnet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the right people walk into your world, the right opportunities open up, and you don't self-doubt. I think the biggest thing that pulls us down is self-doubt. When you're giving yourself that sense of love and you're there for you, doubt begins to creep out because you're filling the room with so much of love and positivity that there's no room for negative. There's no room for doubt. There's no room for fear. And there is no room for others who might come in. Has it ever happened to you that when you kind of shift the way you think about things, sometimes you tend to lose friends?
Absolutely. Oh,
Friends,
my
people.
next question was about that, but yeah, as you said, continue. I have lost a lot of friends.
Oh, good.
And I'm very happy.
Yeah.
You move on from people because you are becoming a better version of yourself. And at
Exactly.
that time, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I felt, oh no, something is wrong with me. Why are people leaving me? Why is this happening to me? But then as and when I'm turning a year older every year, a sense of maturity just come and hits you and reality hits you and be like, no, Vriddhi, it's good. You're moving on from people. And that's one thing which my mom always said. If you are stuck with the same group of people right from childhood to now, you've not grown.
You haven't grown. Exactly.
You have to grow as an individual in order to get those opportunities and go out in the world and think out of the box. So I'm very happy that I love that we're conversing about this, because my next question to you is, I'll be very transparent with you. I have this horrible habit of overthinking. So what is the one method you would give it to me? And like the Gen Zs of us, we all know the Gen Zs like me, they all are waiting for this question. How do you overcome overthinking? Because I have it all the time. Like suppose a friend of mine doesn't text me for a long time. I'll be like, hey, how are you doing? I hope you're okay. And then like the person just leaves me on scene and then I will overthink. So what is the one thing you would tell me to master it, to stop overthinking? Because I'm tired of overthinking.
What was the L? What was the full form of L?
Letting go.
Let things go.
Yeah.
So I'll take you to Amman.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Amman. We have the Dead Sea there. So my husband and I love to travel, and Dead Sea was one thing I definitely wanted to do because I don't know how to swim.
Okay.
So I was like, there's this one place I'm going to be so confident in the water and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, yeah, let's do this. We go. I walk inside, and there are these huge boulders. Have you been to Amman? Have you experienced the Dead Sea?
My dad has.
Okay.
But he had told me about all his experience. So I do have a little bit idea.
Okay, you do have an idea. So
Yeah.
I'm going to walk you through my experience. There are these huge boulders of rock, as you may see on Mamzar and Jumeirah, right? So, and then you walk on them, and then you walk into the water. So I'm very sure that, logic tells me I'm not going to drown because this salty water is so buoyant, it's going to float me up, right? So walking into it, walking slowly, slowly, slowly. And that's when my subconscious hits me. It goes, what are you doing? You don't know how to swim.
Oh,
And
shit.
I'm holding on to the rocks because I don't know how to swim, right? So I'm holding on to the rocks. And the thing with the Dead Sea is it's crystalline salt on the rocks as well, because that's how it is, right? Condensation condensation.
Condensation, yeah.
I hope my physics teacher isn't listening. But anyway, yeah. So you got these crystals of salt on those rocks, okay? And I'm holding on to them because I'm scared. And I'm not letting go.
Okay.
Although my mind tells me, listen, you're not going to drown. You will float. Yeah. But my subconscious, who has this one responsibility to keep me alive, says, don't let go.
It's like two minds are fighting.
Yeah. And that's what
God.
we're doing when we're overthinking,
Exactly.
right?
All the time.
Your heart wants to hold on. Your subconscious, you want to hold on to those people, but they're hurting you. You're in water. It's cutting through. Those crystalline salts are cutting through your skin. You're getting bruised. It's burning. but you're still holding on. So you have two options. Either you let go and enjoy the experience of trust in what's there for you ahead, or just get out of that space, man.
Okay.
As simple as
I'll
that.
definitely take this advice. And like next time if I'm overthinking, I'm just going to be like, for me, I tend to meditate a lot. Like when I'm overthinking, I just keep my phone like silent. And I'll be like, I
So
need to do
silence
that.
the mind. Silence the mind is about meditation, square breathing, prayer.
Prayer definitely does help, of course. Thank you so much. I love that. So moving on to my next question. In a society where often emphasizing on achievements and like, oh, what you have done and everything, how can we collectively encourage a shift towards value self-worth beyond accomplishments?
Okay. So if I asked you to make a list of all the people you love, name 5 people top of your mind who you love.
Mom,
Yep.
dad, brother, my pet Marshmallow, and my best friend.
Okay.
5 of them.
5 of them.
Yeah. Top
Where-
5.
Top 5. And where are you in this list?
Wow. Okay. So now we see it.
see it.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not about your achievements. It's about who would you be if I stripped you of all the titles, education, relationships? What's the essence of you? Get to know
think
yourself.
about- exactly. Okay.
Yeah. Work on gratitude. Write a gratitude list. 3 things. Start your morning with it. Close your day with it. Write 3 things that you are super grateful for about yourself and not allowed to repeat.
Like journaling does help, right?
Journaling is a lifesaver.
I used to do that, but then I don't know why suddenly I just became lazy and I'm just seeing my phone in the night and I sleep.
Okay. Being kind to yourself is important too. Yeah, I mean, imagine walking up to somebody who's going through a very, very rough time and telling them, get over it or move on. You have so much to be grateful for. They don't want to listen to that. If they're going through a rough patch, they're going through a rough patch.
I think this is one quote with someone, I don't know, I don't remember the celebrity name or something, but like one interviewer had asked, if you're going through something, how would you get out of it? She just said, go right through it.
You have to.
There is no bahanas, there is no excuses, there is no like, oh, we'll take a U-turn, we'll just do detowering or something. No. You have to go through it. Because when you face through it, all the lashes which will hit you, you will be the one to protect yourself from it. Or maybe it might just go through you.
Yeah.
But that's the art.
Yep.
So yeah. Wow. That's
So
amazing.
you have to go through it. And you can't, the reason why coaching helps so much is because coaching helps you uncover the answers. So coaching is very different from counseling and consulting.
Yeah, people actually mistake these 2 words. Yeah.
So coaching is about questions. Sometimes people come to a coach and then they go, oh, but you didn't give me any answers. Of course I won't give you your answers because you have your answers within you. So for instance, what if someone comes to me and talks about being overweight, okay, and that's affecting their self-confidence.
Yeah.
So what if I tell them, go for a surgery or do a gym membership, and suppose they don't have the resources, that just makes them feel even more guilty and sad and weighed down, right? I need to understand from them what are their resources, what are their answers, and how best can they function.
And what are the possibilities of achieving it? Like, what is
yeah.
your road
Yeah.
to the finish?
Yeah, and I cannot tell you that you do this, 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 this. You need to figure out with me, and that's where I will walk with you to get to where you need to get to. And I will
Very
hold
well
you
explained.
accountable. Thank you.
I hate to say this, but we're coming to the end of the session. So to finish this off, lastly, for individuals seeking to implement unconditional self-love, what one piece of advice or insight would you want listeners to take away regarding nurturing the self-worth beyond achievements? The one major piece of advice.
Major piece of advice is to be kind with yourself and take everything with a pinch of salt.
Everything, huh?
Everything, yeah, everything.
Like any criticism also?
Of course. Of course. Even if that criticism is coming from you yourself, because 80% of the time we are our biggest critique, right?
Even my mom, she just, if I say I'm looking good, no, remove it. Not looking good. She'll be like straight up to your face. She's
That's
like
what
she's
moms
the biggest supporter and biggest critic of my life.
She's your
I would say.
reality check.
She
let's
is my
just
reality.
let's just put it that
Yes.
way. She's a reality check.
Absolutely.
However, she's looking at life from her eyes, right? So there are times when I might want to do certain things. However, what happens is things unfold in a different way. And I actually have to go to my kids and if I'm not doing stuff the way I do, they're my reality check. I have one who's my cheerleader, my daughter, and my son's my reality check. Because he'll tell me things as they are to my face. And the elder one will cheer me on, saying, Mom, you got this. That helps.
That's so nice.
Just being kind to yourself. To answer
kind
your
to
question, be kind to yourself. Take everything with a pinch of salt and trust the process. If something's gone wrong along the way, it's okay. What have you learned from it? Don't beat yourself down too much. And don't be in a rush to stand up. You know, when you have a fall, maybe someone said something to you, maybe you said something to yourself and you kind of feeling a little, broken. Take some time to understand what actually went down.
Time heals everything.
It does. And it shapes you. I wouldn't say it heals everything. Have I gotten over my loss? No.
Not yet.
It changes you. Loss changes you. Some hurts change you. They break you. They mold you. Yeah. If you chisel a rock and you shape it and polish it, it changes, right? Due to the friction. But that's how it is shaped. That's how it shines.
Wow. Hate to say this, but that's the end and that's the wrap. Thank you so much, Ms. Ruqya. I learned, I'm pretty sure the viewers are also taking down notes from the overthinking session that we had. But I really, really, really enjoyed. Thank you so, so much. I've learned so much about what self-worth and self-love is all about. It's basically having the power within yourself and how you nurture it.
True.
And so that's the end of our session, guys. Thank you for staying till the end and watching this. And for our listeners, if you all want to speak about this, to continue this conversation online, please make sure to see our Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn page of Smart Talks by LUBM. Until next time, I'll still be your host, Riddhi Kumtekar. Stay tuned. See you guys for the next session. Bye.